Hi Jill, how are you?
I'm good. And you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming in today. Love my colours,
I love
thank
the colours,
you.
yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm half dressed for a Madonna outfit, so I've got more eye makeup on than usual.
Is that why?
So
Oh, okay.
But it is a lot of colours in my face.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd love to talk to you about what you do for work. I know that you do yoga, you do Pilates, and you fuse the two together, but today we're going to talk about yoga. And there's lots of different types of yoga, but you do yoga nidra. So
I actually also do a flow yoga as well as part of my fusion with the Pilates. But yoga nidra is something I do in every single class, whether it be yoga or Pilates, or whether it be a dance class or whatever I'm doing. Every workshop always has yoga nidra as part of what I do, because I think it's the most beautiful balance to have with anything you do, and can calm and de-stress, and it increases productivity. It's called the waking sleep, which is pretty incredible, and the amount of people who actually seem to fall asleep in a class absolutely blows me away. And what I'm noticing more than anything is the teenage girls that just seem to want to continue. They say to me, I teach on Wednesdays in schools, and the girls are starting to say to me, mainly girls, but the girls are saying to me all the time now, can we do a longer version of that? Because they are so stressed in their lives of all the school and the sport and the dance and the music and the competitiveness that they live with every day. I think it's getting more and more difficult for people to find a space for some time out. And this is why I love yoga nidra, is because you can do it for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, a whole hour. An hour is pretty mind-blowing. You just feel amazing. And it doesn't make you feel groggy or anything like that. So you don't sort of go to sleep and go, oh, I'm awake. It just takes you into another state. And it's just on that level that's not exactly sleep, but the in-between type of state. So you can actually still hear, but you're in this lovely space. So even with 5 minutes, it can rejuvenate you for the rest of the day. And I say this with people also that work in offices, so I do some corporate as well. If they can take time out just for 5 minutes, even 2, just to go into yoga nidra. Do you want to know what we do?
Yes, that was going to be my next question. You're reading my mind.
So for a very small yoga nidra, a minimal yoga nidra, it's taking yourself down on the floor. But if that's not possible, sitting in a chair.
So maybe I'll do it here with you.
Yeah, sitting in a chair. Oh, you want me to do just a little quick one? Okay. So if you're sitting in a chair,
in position.
Yeah. In fact, my dog, sadly, who's not alive anymore, but she's very much still in our mind, used to do. Didn't you, doggy? This one probably does it too. My doggy used to do yoga nidra, and people used to say to me in the class that she's completely relaxed. She would go, like Jack's just done there, something to do with my voice. Would just go, oh. And that's what people say, which reminds me, I'm actually getting it recorded. I'm getting my voice recorded in the studio with the yoga nidra, so it's very something that people can use, so on MP3 or an app. But anyway, yoga nidra. So just a very, very basic, simple couple of minutes. So either sitting in a chair, but probably not cross-legged. feet down, just so that cross-legged changes the distribution of the way the blood's moving and oxygen through the body. And just closing your eyes and take a deep breath. Just breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. So the nasal breath, so I'm just going to let you sit there quietly with your breathing for the moment. The nasal breath actually internalizes you. It takes you into a little focus that's internal rather than external when you start focusing on breath. So inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. And you start to notice the breath will slow down as you take a little bit deeper breath. So inhaling through your nose a little bit deeper and exhaling through your nose. On your next inhale, count the length of your inhale. And then count the length of your exhale. And if you notice one is longer than the other, it's going to make both the same length as the longer one. So again, inhale, you might be adding a count to your inhale, or you might be adding a count to your exhale. Then add another count to each inhale and each exhale. So you're going to take it a little bit deeper, a little bit more focused. And then we're going to start thinking about intention. So you have an intention today, something you would like, something positive you would like to see happen for you, or maybe family, or a friend, or the universe. Just think of that intention and say it to yourself, and then see what it looks like. Feel what it feels like, and then making it happen. And again, just take that intention into your mind, say it, see it, feel it, make it happen. And then on your next inhale, take that intention into your heart. And fill your heart with that intention. See your intention. Feel it. Make it happen. And then take your focus down to your toes. Think about your toes. Visualize each toe relaxing, starting with the big toe, second, third, fourth, and little toes. All toes relaxed. The top of your feet, the soles of your feet, your ankles, your shins, your calves, your knees relaxed. The front of your thighs, the back of your thighs, your inner and outer thighs relaxed. Just feel both legs, feet and toes relaxed. And then visualize your torso. Pelvic area, lower abdominals, diaphragm and chest, the whole front of your torso. And then moving around to the back of your torso. Your hips, your buttocks, your lower back. Just visualize moving all the way from the lower back to your mid-back to your upper back and shoulders. Relaxed. Your whole torso, your legs, your feet and your toes. Relaxed. The inner part of your arms, the outer part of your arms, palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your fingers and your thumbs, feeling relaxed. And your neck, your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth, your teeth, your tongue, your jaw, your forehead, your whole face relaxed. The back of your head, the top of your head, and your whole body. Your whole body. Your whole body relaxed. And take your mind back to your intention. And then again, take a long inhale all the way down to the belly. And exhale, taking a long exhale, emptying the lungs. And again, inhale. And exhale. And just placing your hands, relax wherever they are, in your lap or on your knees, and just open your eyes. And just then do a little bit of a movement. Normally I'd be sitting up, which we are already, but just a little bit of a turn of the spine. So all we're doing is just looking over the shoulder. And exhale. And then inhale, just look over the shoulder as you exhale. And then bring your hands up. Usually I'm sitting up differently at this point, but bring your hands up and then bring them together on an inhale. And thank you.
Thank you. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's very quick actually. This dog was like this.
I heard him snoring at part already.
Yeah, oh, did you came out of that okay? Yes, I know you like that. All doggies love that.
That was amazing.
Yeah, so it's not long that's only about maybe 5 minutes maybe.
No. Yeah.
It's just even that. So normally you'd be lying on the floor with your palms of your hands facing up, and the whole body just goes into this lovely state. But it can be done sitting up, so I will do that in a workplace and sitting at a desk. You know, can actually do that. And people find that after just doing that, really, you know, that short amount of time, they feel energized and a little bit more capable of thinking. You know, the brain capacity expands. How did you find the intention? I've added that to part of it. I don't know other people doing this in this particular type of thing. They do it in other things, of course. But could you see an intention? Could you feel
well, I think you know that I'm a hypnotherapist.
Okay, of course.
That was exactly like induction for hypnotherapy.
Yeah,
so adding the intention is amazing.
Yeah.
So I can feel it, and I go into trance really easily. So you would have seen my body sort of swaying and
Oh, that's
so
fantastic.
it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to come for one of your, or maybe lots of your
different things.
classes.
There's one that I'm doing the sound bowls. You know those, don't you? The sound bowls.
No.
In fact, I think this one would be interesting for you to actually meet the woman that's doing it. But I'm doing with her with sound bowls, and then I'm doing yoga nidra, but a full one. And when I say full, 45 minutes, with chakra balancing as part of it as well.
Okay, well that sounds brilliant.
Yeah, so things like that are really good. Now this is all sitting down or lying down, but that's the yoga, a part of yoga that I absolutely adore. Do you want to know more about the other yoga I do?
Yes.
At this point? Yeah. Okay. So the other yoga I do, other than Pilates, but the yoga or the fusion, we'll go there next.
Yeah, we'll talk about those in separate videos, but the other type of yoga now.
So what I also do, I love flow yoga, and I've been doing this for quite some time, where I will actually keep the movement flowing. Now people will call it probably a vinyasa, but it's not quite as strong as a vinyasa, as in continuous jump throughs, etc., etc. But the flow of movement to me is very similar to a dance in a way, and so flow yoga again is part of other classes that I teach, but I also love doing it with certain music as well. So I remember many years ago I was living in France, and I was actually teaching yoga in France, and I say maybe one day people will be dancing to hip-hop music, doing yoga to hip-hop music, and I'm suddenly seeing that people are. They're actually doing that, but I used to play sort of probably more dance music and doing the flow yoga. You know, so moving on breath and continuing moving without really stopping and going into the positions, different positions, moving through with music that is probably more of a dance music than a slow movement or a slow music. But I do use certain amounts of music as well, like Diva Premal, which is very much, I don't know if you know Diva Premal. So I use her music as well, which is very nice sort of flow. I use that too with Yoga Nidra. But yeah, so flow yoga I really love. I love to keep the movement going rather than standing for a long time in a pose. Now the reason, and I know this because it's happened, should I talk about this, but I was injured due to holding poses. And some people may not be, but a lot of people in the yoga world, particularly the Western yoga world, yoga is an asana and that's all it is. there's...
An asana is a position.
Oh, sorry, is a pose.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing they see about yoga, is that it's an asana. So because of that, and because the Western world has taken on, it's embraced asanas, it's what people want, because it's part of the physical world where people want to feel good, etc., etc. But because of that, a lot of people go to a class where, do I say, but it's, you know, you've got the right gear, the right look, the right, you know, everything, and so it's very much based on this Western style of, I look really cool because I'm at yoga. Those people often, many people that I come across, will get into a pose, and they're in a pose where they're really in pain, knees, hips, and they don't move because no one else has moved. So they'll stay in that pose in agony, and this is where injuries occur. Which is one of the reasons I like doing flow, because you come in and out of the pose, still on breath, using breath, and this is my personal feeling, but it's also come from the fact that I was injured myself, very much, and I ended up with a hip replacement. That's pretty heavy duty stuff, because I was torn, because I held a pose way too long, and I was actually pushed even further by the yoga teacher who told me I could go further, which I possibly was, but it was in a heated room, which means that I was already forced into a temperature that my body wasn't used to, you know, and that's what happened to me. Doesn't happen to everyone, by the way, but it does happen. So that's why I chose, personally, to do flow rather than hold. But on the floor, there are things that it's not so bad to be doing certain things, like some of the stretches and reaching out and actually holding a little bit further with the stretch, as long as there's no pain. And that's what I'm saying to everyone now. Be intuitive about how it feels, not just go and do it because everybody else in the room is doing it. So that's my thing about yoga.
Cool. Before I let you go, I just want to ask you, what types of people will these types of yoga help?
Oh, okay, which the flow yoga?
The flow yoga and the yoga nidra. So obviously yoga nidra is going to be great for stress.
Yes, for de-stressing. Yoga nidra particularly for de-stressing. In a fast world that we live in, yoga nidra is just amazing, even that short version. That will help people to actually be able to cope with their everyday working day, or their school day, or their mums at home's day. Oh, which reminds me, I have adult children. Those adult children were brought up with yoga nidra. And even now, my son's not living in Australia, but he has told me that he hears my voice if he's really stressed, and he can actually find that calmness can occur by just doing that. Because as they were babies, that's what I started doing. That's how it helped them. Great for mums to get your kids to sleep. It actually really takes them into that space that's really calm and relaxed. So that's the benefit, or many of the benefits of yoga nidra. The flow yoga, the benefit for people is that they're not going to be injured. They're going to be able to keep moving and flowing. But it's also, I use breath, so it's moving with breath, which is also a de-stressor. So I'm not trying to make people do anything very fast with a flow. It's still moving, and I believe that people benefit from that, as in the movement. In fact, I think even it's a little bit like Tai Chi in a way, because Tai Chi does the same thing. It flows. So it's to do with the energy, with the way to keep things moving in a gentle way rather than any forced and holding and not feeling comfortable. So that's the benefit for me, or for the people who come to my classes who actually do realise that too.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming in. Now, if anyone wants to find you, do your classes, chat to you, where will they find you?
Body and Balance. My website is bodyandbalance.com.au. I'm based in Manly and Manly Vale. I have a studio where I run a variety of classes plus personal sessions, training sessions. And I'm available also for workshops and corporate. So do I give you any more details? Phone number?
If you want.
0412 422 868. And I'd love to have a chat if you want to talk to me about any of these things too. I'm quite open to discussing what people need. I'm also very versatile with what people need. Yeah.
Yes, you are. And I will be coming to one of your classes very soon.
Okay, good.
After
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Cool. Thanks so much for coming in today.